Two crashes, two stories. What happened on the freeway, and what did the videos miss? Tonight, Maya brings community urgency. Leo brings forensic skepticism. I'll walk you through the verified facts, the glaring gaps, and why this matters to your safety and our oversight. Tonight, two crashes and two narratives, what officials can confirm and what the public saw and felt online and at the scene.
And what people shared was raw. A chopper over Highway 50, debris flying, that big plume of smoke, cars inches away. It's terrifying.
Terrifying, yes. And also a reminder that video can magnify chaos. We've got to separate the adrenaline from the actual facts.
Here's the verified timeline. A little after 7 p.m., Monday, a Reach Air medical helicopter lifted from UC Davis Medical Center, then declared an in-air emergency. It crashed onto eastbound Highway 50 near 59th Street. No patient was on board. 3 crew members, a pilot, a nurse, a paramedic, were critically injured.
Witnesses said it was violently shaking and coming down. One bystander told a station it plummeted out of the sky, and then smoke just engulfed the freeway.
And yet, the official word says no fire. Some saw white smoke, some said black. That's classic. Angles, light, adrenaline. Let's not litigate colors in the dark.
Captain Justin Sylvia described crews and motorists lifting part of the inverted helicopter. It took every ounce of all approximately 15 people to move that aircraft.
That is community. People leapt out of cars and literally shouldered a helicopter so a trapped crew member could live. That's not just a headline, it's a reality check.
Personal responsibility in action. Folks didn't wait for orders, they lifted. They held for minutes so responders could work. That's the story I wish led every feed.
Officials identified the aircraft as an Airbus EC-130T2. The NTSB and the FAA are investigating with the Highway Patrol. Debris was cleared by early Tuesday.
Meanwhile, anchors looped a clip. They said, "Let the video breathe, hats off to the person filming." But let's breathe on the questions that matter more.
Sure, but those anchors also noticed something real. The pilot seemed to aim for open space, away from homes. That likely saved lives on a busy artery.
Some on-scene reporting guessed the tail struck a berm before the flip. That is a guess, not a finding. Investigators will map the sequence from wreckage and data.
Let's talk systemic factors. Air medical crews operate under pressure, turnarounds, night flying near dense neighborhoods. Where are the safeguards and buffers?
Hold on. We don't know any operational pressure here. We know they just finished a patient transport and were returning. That's routine, not a smoking gun.
One clarification on wording. Some reports emphasized no patient on board. Others stressed they had just delivered one. Both point to the same fact at impact, no patient. Also, a city council member on a police ride-along called the scene sobering. Another outlet referenced a mayor by name. Titles aside, the reaction was the same, shock.
And the evidence gaps are glaring. We need maintenance logs, duty time for the pilot, flight profile data, and radio calls, not armchair theories from a crash clip.
Agreed on data. Also agreed that some TV chatter ran ahead of facts. First on scene, could have been worse, repeat. That's heat, not light.
Quick recap. We have 3 critically injured crew, no secondary roadway injuries, an inverted landing in the median, visible smoke without ignition, and a large debris field. Now, a second crash, Sunday evening in Florida. A twin-engine Beechcraft Baron 58P went down in a peanut field near Williston. 3 people were killed.
Witnesses said instead of slowing on approach, it sped up, then dropped. A thunderstorm in the area. Weather risk plus approach instability, that's a deadly mix.
Let's be careful. Bad weather reported, yes. But we don't know whether it was pilot decision, instrumentation, or a sudden microburst. Respect the victims and wait.
Flight records show a departure from Springfield, Kentucky, with Williston Airport as the destination. The NTSB and FAA are working the scene to determine cause.
These are different worlds. Air medical in a city, private aviation over fields. But the through line is oversight. Weather minima, training, and transparency save lives.
And the through line is also choice and skill. Pilots train for contingencies. Sometimes equipment fails, sometimes nature wins. That's tragic, not negligent by default.
Back to Sacramento for a moment. Captain Sylvia called it mind-blowing that no motorists were hurt, given a helicopter hit the center of a freeway at rush hour.
That miracle didn't happen in a vacuum. The pilot likely aimed away from homes, and the public formed a human jack. Let's invest in systems that don't rely on miracles.
Speaking of the public, one bystander said the engine took a few minutes to wind down while smoke poured across lanes. That's a nasty, confusing scene to manage.
That detail matters. Did a mechanical failure trigger rotor imbalance? Did the tail strike during an emergency landing attempt? Only data will tell, but ask the right asks.
And skip the wrong ones. One reporter guessed the tail hit the berm. Fine as a guess, but say it's a guess. The NTSB will diagram every scrape. Patience is a virtue.
About the online loop, we'll let this video breathe, as one anchor said. Remember that investigations breathe differently, measured, methodical, documented.
And when the public does the right thing, like those 15 lifting, agencies should match that with clear, fast communication. Not PR prayers, real updates, real timelines.
Reach sent thoughts and prayers and said they're determining details. That's standard early hours. You want maintenance logs? So do they, for lawyers and safety teams.
Investigation cadence. The NTSB typically issues a preliminary within a couple of weeks, factual updates later, and a probable cause much later. Expect that pace here.
While we wait, we can demand better urban flight risk planning, helipads by neighborhoods, freeway corridors below. When things fail, people are in the blast radius.
But don't forget the lives saved every day by those flights. Pull too hard on the safety brake, and someone's ambulance by air arrives too late. Trade-offs are real.
We also heard in those clips the relentless drumbeat. Thank you, thank you. That litany can dull sense. Let's keep gratitude and scrutiny both turned up.
Scrutiny means asking why initial crews were so small that bystanders had to help lift. Heroism filled a gap. Policy should close it before the next emergency.
Initial response is always small. Closest unit arrives fast. The cavalry follows. That's not a failure. That's how staging works. The gap was seconds long and lives saved.
On the Florida case, a neighbor recalled a loud bang and a wall of flames. In Sacramento, there was smoke but no ignition. 2 crashes, 2 very different post-impact fires.
And in Florida, friends say it was a hunting trip. Family aboard. That's a pattern we know too well. Private flights, weather closing in, final minutes turning unforgiving.
I'll say it again. Let the investigators fly the data. Eyeballs on the ground are helpful, but ADS-B tracks, wreckage signatures, and engines tell the real story.
Traffic in Sacramento. Eastbound lanes were shut. 1 lane reopened near 59th Street, and all lanes were back by early Tuesday. Commuters felt the ripple, briefly.
The people who felt it most are in hospital beds tonight. The pilot, the nurse, the paramedic. I'm thinking of them, and of how we protect crews who protect us.
And of the pilot's last choices. You saw that copter end up on its back in a median, not into a house or a minivan. That looks like skill under pressure to me.
As Maya argued earlier, systemic safeguards matter. As Leo noted, restraint matters too. We can hold both until the facts land on the table.
And then push for action. Transparent preliminary reports, public briefings, and yes, sharing the raw data so independent experts can analyze it, not just agencies.
In the meantime, if you've got dash cam video, hand it to investigators, not your follower count. Help the process. Don't feed the rumor mill.
We're going to leave you with 2 open folders. Sacramento's in-air emergency over a freeway, and Williston's approach that ended in a field under a stormy sky.
2 communities, 2 nights apart. The same toll of 3 families changed forever. That's the statistic behind the spectacle. Lives, not just headlines.
And the same virtues on display. Courage from crews, grit from bystanders, professionalism from first responders. Keep that in view as the hot takes cool.
When the NTSB issues preliminary findings, we'll return what failed, what worked, and what needs to change. Until then, stay safe, stay curious, and take care on the roads.